Hey everybody, I'm Eli, and this is.
Oh, how's it going, everybody? I'm Pedro. Nice to meet you.
We're gonna give you some tips and tricks on Pokemon Go actually today. Hope you guys level up a little faster. All right, so the first one is when you're going to an area, make sure like a park, make sure there's lots of Pokestops in that park. It helps helps spawn more Pokemon, and two, it's always nice to be able to walk in a little circle to hit the Pokestops in a pattern, so that way you can just keep going and hitting them over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Anything as far as that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, one thing definitely you want to make sure that you always hunt in pairs. Very important, just because one, if you're tracking Pokemon, it helps if you guys kind of split up and just notify each other. The other one is also safety. You know,
Yeah.
if you're in pairs, I know you hear a lot of things in the news, a lot of things going on, so just be smart about what you guys do.
Yeah, especially at night, because people have been getting mugged. Like they go to the middle of the city to find this Pokestop with a lure. Well, lots of Pokemon are nearby, but they turn out, oh, there's nobody around. They get mugged. Something like that happens. It's happened before. We just won't let that happen to you guys. So be careful when you're out there hunting.
Yeah, if you see a van that says Pokemon candy inside, don't believe it. It's not true.
Believe
Don't
it.
do it. Don't believe the hype.
Definitely not true.
Get it? Gotta catch the candy.
If you're wanting to find the Pokemon quickly, we hear parking lots and are really good places to find spawn, especially if you're not from a place like the big city that's got lots of parks and stuff inside of it.
Yeah.
If you go to like a parking lot, you can find quite a few Pokemon up there apparently.
Yeah, definitely. Also recommend the beaches or anything popular like that, like malls or anything like that. Notice a lot of success at beaches. You'll see a whole bunch of lure modules around. So definitely recommend going in there again in pairs.
And when you find a place like a beach where there's already a high amount of traffic flow anyway, you know people are going to be going there anyway. They turn on their Pokemon, then they put a lure, and you have a better chance of finding lures that you don't have to place. That you can just use, take advantage of.
Exactly.
And now when you're trying to catch those Pokemon, turn off the AR.
Yeah,
That was a
definitely
big
saver.
one. It definitely helps. They're always right in front of you, so you don't have to be looking around with your phone. It's easier to find them.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit easier to actually throw the Pokeballs at them, I find.
Especially if you see that Pokemon that you're like, oh my god, I have to have this one. Definitely recommend throw a Raspberry first, and then if you have a Great Ball or Ultra Ball, depending on what level you are, follow up with that. It definitely increases the success rate on capturing them as well.
And make sure you take advantage with the captures of the different tiers. Like if you hit it with a great throw versus a nice throw, or throwing a curveball. Now, like the curveballs are crucial because sometimes you'll notice like when you throw the Pokeball at them, it'll swerve off the screen and be kind of like glowy, has a little almost fairy
sparkle.
dust around it. Yeah, sparkle. That means you have to throw a curveball to actually hit the Pokemon. So make sure you throw your curveballs right when you need to, and if you got low-level Pokemon, throw them anyway, because you catch it with it, you get the curveball bonus, extra 10 XP.
Damn.
You got a lucky egg on, that's an extra 20 XP.
Just like that. If you're trying to get stronger Pokemon, I know that's one thing everybody's asking, like, hey, you know, I noticed that some are stronger than the others. It definitely helps if you have a higher level as well. The higher level you are increases the chance of you coming across a Pokemon at a higher level as like a basic Pokemon. So you run at an early level with the Squirtle, for example, you run into like 100, 200. Once you get higher levels, you run into Squirtles that are like 500, 600. So definitely a big plus if you're trying to level up.
And we would also notice when you're finding the levels of the Pokemon, you also don't just pay attention to the levels, because CP can be made up. You can always go back and power up a Pokemon. But also pay attention to what moves they have, because a lot of people, like especially at first, I found a lot of like Pidgeys, and I transferred most of them, and I just kept the highest one. But now I'm going back and I realize, oh, that one might not have had the best moves that a Pidgey can have. So now I'm looking at other ones that are around the same level or a little bit below that have better moves, like Aerial Ace or Steel Wing, something like that. So that then when I do power them up, they're at the same level as the other one, but they got better moves, more damage per attack. Especially when you battle at gyms, it becomes unbelievably crucial to have good attacks.
Definitely way easier. I know also if you are trying to be one of those higher level players, you definitely want to utilize the lucky eggs for sure.
Yeah, that's the best way. I've used it to gain 2 or 3 levels in a single day.
Mm-hmm.
You hit it right, you catch a bunch of Pidgeys, you say have 80 Pidgey candies, get 6 Pidgeys, you get a 500 XP for every evolve.
And it's
just
double.
on a normal evolve.
Yeah.
You use a lucky egg, that's 1,000 XP for every Pidgey. If you're at level 9, you only need 10,000 XP to hit level 10. 6 Pidgeys, you're already almost there, 6,000 XP. You evolve a Pokemon you've never seen before, that's 2,000 XP. and boom, So what I do is a lot of times I'll wait till I have like 10, 12 Pokemon to evolve. A couple of them might be new, most of them might be old ones that I've already seen before, but I'm already gaining at least a level from that, and that only takes 5 minutes to go in and hit evolve on each one. Then you keep your lucky egg and go to a lure module, a Pokestop, and catch Pokemon or in a park, use an incense, and then you get double for every Pokemon you catch as well.
And if you want to be part of that crowd that invests a little extra money into the game as well, definitely recommend getting the incubators, as well as utilizing those lucky eggs at the same time as they're hatching. With that, you're going to be getting tons of experience, tons of candy. Eggs constantly keep on coming back in rotation once they already hatch, so you have multiple eggs that are going to be coming in. I also definitely recommend that as a great way to level up as well.
Yeah, and I know it depends on the amount of XP you get from each egg depends on how far you have to walk. If it's a 2-kilometer egg, I believe you get 200 experience for the hatching. 5-kilometer eggs, I believe you get 500, and 10, I believe you get 1,000 XP just to hatch it. And that's not with a lucky egg. You get double that without any lucky egg. So make sure, and what I always do, especially if I have 3 incubators going, I split it. So I'll have one incubating like my 2-kilometer egg, another one incubating a 5-kilometer, and a 10-kilometer. So that way I can always like be rotating out eggs, and I always almost have one hatching. At least one a day pretty much hatches when I'm out and actually playing.
Yeah, and from what I hear at least is if you're going under 15 miles per hour, that's when it actually logs your
driving.
Well, not necessarily driving, but you're just moving in general. But definitely recommend you going out. I mean, you can walk, you can run, but I know some people are using bikes as an effective way, and with that, they're hatching eggs very fast. So again, lucky egg, bike, and then incubators, you're in there.
Yeah. And the other cool thing with hatching them, unlike evolving, you get Stardust when you hatch an egg.
Yeah, sure
and
do.
especially, because I think you get almost like 500 Stardust just for hatching a 2-kilometer egg, and that comes in really handy.
Yeah.
I've gone through where I've hatched several eggs, I might have had 2,000 Stardust, and all of a sudden I got almost 10,000 Stardust just from hatching 2 or 3 eggs.
Yeah.
And that helps so much when it comes to powering up your Pokemon.
For sure.
So the next thing I guess is the gyms. When you're fighting against a gym or when you go up to a gym, the first thing you do always is normally fight. If it's not your team, yeah, that's what they call team. And when you fight, you need to make sure you look at the matchups, what Pokemon are at the gym, and what Pokemon you have to make sure the types kind of like make sense, which one you're using. If they have an Arcanine, it doesn't make sense to use another really Arcanine that much. It's better to go with a water Pokemon, obviously, against the fire. Would it be horrible to go against? Never put an Oddish against like an Arcanine. Oddish against a Charizard. You're just gonna die every time.
I know also in the gym, a lot of people are like, hey, how come I can't take over this gym? I keep on fighting it, and it doesn't give me the option. That's because you'll notice on the gym, you'll see some prestige points on there.
It's almost like an HP bar in the top left. It says like 13,000 out of 15,000.
Yeah.
And this is also crucial when you're coming to leave a Pokemon at a gym, if it is your team. If it's not your team, it makes sense to pay attention to whether or not when to take over the gym. And if it is your team, it helps you know when you can leave a Pokemon there.
Yeah, exactly. Again, with that prestige, that prestige score, you want to make sure you bring that score down as low as possible, pretty much 0, if you want to take over that gym. Just because you beat it one time around doesn't necessarily mean you're going to take it over. You need to do it several times, or at least bring down that score, and then you can actually take it over.
Because what you'll notice is as you lower the prestige, the rank of the gym. I beat a gym, they had 3 guys, beat it, all 3. It took away the bottom 2 guys, deleted them because it knocked down the prestige of the gym, and so then when I came back, I only had to face the highest guy again.
Yeah.
And now when this prestige, the other way, when you're coming to leave a Pokemon, your prestige has to hit. So if it's a level 4 gym or whatever and it needs 8,000 prestige, it has to be at 8,000 before you can leave the next Pokemon to rank up that gym.
Mm-hmm. So very important, especially if you're trying to protect your gym. So just keep that in mind.
And if you notice, hey, I've been battling, like this is a blue gym and your team blue. Look at it, you see, it doesn't have all the prestige, and so maybe somebody's been attacking it. Well, if you go in and train against it, which is like you attacking, except you only get to use 1 Pokemon instead of 6.
Bottom right-hand corner.
Yeah, it actually helps gain the prestige back on your gym if you win.
Yeah.
So you can actually help your gym gain back those prestige points, and so it doesn't get taken over.
Exactly. Another fun tip is we were talking earlier about how to getting Stardust and everything like that. Also, if you are at a gym and you basically leave one of your Pokemon at that gym, if you go to the shop, you'll notice on the top right-hand corner there's a little shield. If you click that shield, it'll give you a number amount of coins and Stardust depending on how many Pokemon you currently have defending a gym. So, you know, a little successful tip, you don't want to put any money into the game. It's perfectly fine. There's other ways to get coins, and that is going to be.
No, you can only leave one Pokemon at one gym.
Yeah.
So you only one Pokemon per gym. Make
Per
sure.
gym.
But so the hard part there is sometimes it's nice to wait to have 2 or 3 gyms, but you never know when your gym's going to get attacked and when your Pokemon's going to get returned to you. So sometimes it's better just as soon as you get that first gym, just to hit that defender bonus, to not risk losing it. But if you do wait, then you can obviously get a higher defender bonus as long as your Pokemon are at the gym.
Yeah, and you'll also notice if your Pokemon's still active at a gym, 2 ways to check. One, you won't have any health if you got kicked out. You'll have like 1 HP. The other way is you'll have a little icon next to him when you go to your Pokemon list. There's like this little icon to the left on the picture. But if you see that gone, then that means it's been kicked out. Revive him and then either go take back the gym or put him somewhere else.
And when you're taking back a gym and actually, or even just taking it for the first time, one of the key things I've found is the first move you want to do is dodge.
Yeah.
Because the first move they're going to do is attack, and if you can dodge, it's faster than that first attack. So then you can get out of the way of the attack, miss it, and go straight to attacking, and already have him at a little bit of a disadvantage. And it's really, really handy when you're battling a same guy at your same CP or a little bit higher. It's been known to actually help you win that battle.
Yeah, also that actually helps you if you have a Pokemon in there that basically you're weak against the other Pokemon with. If you notice they're about to do their special attack, dodge out the way. You just swipe out the way, keep on swiping. You'll notice it'll say dodge, and then that's going to give you a chance to stay back in that game without getting out.
I've noticed when you're trying to dodge, especially a special attack, you almost have to wait for them to start the attack and then dodge. Because if you're just as soon as they start, or not actually the Pokemon moving forward, but as soon as you realize they're about to attack and swipe, a lot of times the Pokemon won't attack and switch angles till it finds you and then release it. So you want to make sure they're almost about to release it, they're coming at you, and then dodge, so that way it actually misses you.
Yeah, totally agree.
And then I guess sniping a neutral gym. So if you're hanging out in the area, this is
I've had this happen.
Yes, this happened to me 8 times yesterday. I beat a gym 4 or 5 times in a row. And every time I went to heal my Pokemon before I left it there, somebody else came in and took it. So I had to beat it over again and over and over again. It turned out, so a couple of times it was one of the guys I was with, one of my friends who was on a different team. And actually this helps if you're trying to level up.
Yeah.
This is one of the great reasons to go hang out with friends, because then you can take turns battling each other for the gym and keep getting XP and keep getting like rewards. The only downside is you keep losing your gym.
And one strategy I used because I noticed that was happening to me too, is I won't necessarily use the Pokemon that I'm gonna leave at that gym. I'll use another Pokemon, beat the gym, and then once it's neutral, then jump in real fast and put that Pokemon that I wanted there initially.
Yeah,
so that way you don't have to do potions.
Yeah, especially that's really nice, especially if you have a bunch of high-level Pokemon that you can do it with. That's amazing. Me at the time it was horrible because I only had like one that was like 1100 and almost 1200, and it was my go-to Pokemon. So I ended up having to leave like an 800 CP Electabuzz instead of like a 1200 Arcanine. Which it lasted. I got my defender bonus. It lasted a good hour. I think I won a battle or 2, but I mean, overall I was kind of disappointed because I feel like I would have done a little better with that higher level Pokemon. Alright, I think that's all the tips and tricks we have for you today. Hope you guys enjoyed, and stay tuned to our channel for more. Like and subscribe below if you enjoyed.
Yeah, have a good one.